I appreciate you guys coming on here, taking your time out of your day to help learn a couple of things. For those of you that don't know, I'm Coach Gillies. I'm the club director for Upstate Sweetlax as well as Grizzly Lacrosse. And so us here at Sweetlax, we've just been discussing a bunch over the past couple of weeks on ways that we can kind of help assist our players through these kind of unfortunate circumstances we find ourselves in. And we uh, we came up with the idea of breaking down some film and using this Zoom platform to be able to deliver some teaching. And we'll do some whiteboard stuff. We'll do some film breakdown, and we'll try to get creative with it the best we can. Try to get some other panelists on here, but we just feel it's a really good way to help improve our players' IQs and help them get better, and help take some time out of your guys' day as well. So why we do film, as you guys get a little bit older, into college especially, but I know a lot of high schools are doing it too. It's just a really strong tool to help learn about ourselves, be able to critique ourselves, take that criticism well, and learn and get better as a team. And so it's something you're going to have to be able to do as you get older. It's something we do in the NLL every single week. Before every practice, we sit down, we critique ourselves, we critique each other, and but we also highlight some of the positive stuff too. So we'll do a bit of that. Today we're going to go over some clips on our 2021 Upstate Sweetlax team and what they did in this fall. This has been a team that's been together for a long time, and they had a really strong fall. And right now, over 10 plus commits all to D1 schools right now, and so they had a really strong fall. And these clips you'll see at the NAL tournament from this past fall. So we'll get right into it now. You'll see in this first clip, it's we're in a 13 set, so it's a 1-3-2 starting from X, and we kind of, you don't really need to communicate it, but right away we're doing a wave or a sweep dodge. We call it a wave with us. And Nick Luis from West Genesee does a nice job of recognizing Willard Anderson's hand, knowing that he's a righty, so he knows that he wants to do a sweeping type dodge across the top. So that right away, Nick Luis clears through to the crease. And what we'll want to do with our other midfielder who's on the crease here is get all the way to the backside. So in this instance, he stays on the crease, but we'd like him to get to the backside so we don't have two of our midfielders right on the crease crowding it. So we'll start this dodge. He does a really nice job of drawing a slide. And what we want to see our players do, as soon as we draw a slide, we want to move that ball right away. It should be no hesitation. We never want to be re-dodging a slide. Once you draw that slide, you've done your job. So you'll see Willard from Albany do a really nice job of that here. Sweeps across, and as soon as you draw that slide, he moves it. This next part is a really important thing that a lot of our attackmen need to be doing as well as midfielders. This attackman right here, he's a transfer guy. So he doesn't need to hesitate at all. He catches that ball and he moves it right away. All right, because we want to pass, and then re-dodge off of these dodges from the top. So he does that here, a really nice job, pass, or a dodge, pass, and then a re-dodge here from X. Parker catches that ball from X. He has his head up right away, which I love. And then you'll see he has a ton of green space right here to dodge and potentially turn the corner. So we want to take advantage of that defenseman who's coming back, recovering after helping down in the crease. And then we want to take advantage of that by trying to turn this corner. They do a pretty good job defensively here, and he's not quite able, but you can see how much open grass he has to potentially turn that corner. So that's a really simple part of our offense. So we just want to dodge, feed it twice, and then re-dodge right away, and it catches that defense in an uncomfortable position. So pretty good all-around offense there. We don't score out of it this time, but it's something that'll create a lot of offense for future possessions. So now switching to defense, one thing that we always have to be able to do is slide off of a clear through. So usually we our number one slide position is right off the crease, and you'll see Cal Lambert here from Victor, New York. He does a great job setting up, and he's ready to slide to this man if he does dodge this righty alley. But sometimes, like we just did, these midfielders are going to sweep across the top. So that means we have to change our slide man on the fly, and we call it China. It lets Cal know that now Kyle Gonzoriak is the slide man, and Cal can now come in and help and help in on the backside and become a two. So you'll see that here. As soon as you see him dodging down this side, we would not want Cal sliding across one of our other men, Kyle here. There's no need for Cal to make a big long slide when we have another guy that's much closer and in some much easier slide position. So Kyle does a great job of recognizing that there. He switches it up, and Kyle now becomes the slide man, and now Cal can come in and help right on that two man. So he does a pretty good job. We get a good slide here, and we force a shot off the cage. So watching that again. So we have to change our slide guy on the fly. What we'll want our former hot guy, Cal, to do is get in right in the back now and help in on Kyle's man. And that'll allow us to slide effectively and then slide and recover. So pretty good job there by Kyle. Kyle had a really strong fall, and he committed to the University of Syracuse. So a lot of it had to do with his performance at this tournament this past fall. So this next clip is a little bit of critiquing, and this is a situation where we didn't effectively slide off of the clear through or use that China call. So first off, just a little bit of a defensive philosophy for all of us midfielders when we're on defense. We always want to take away the middle of the field. And that means we need to get up to this midfielder's top shoulder and send him down the alley. That's where we want our guys going, and it makes it much easier on our defense to slide and recover when we send guys down the alley. Yavin Stefano doesn't quite get high enough, and it gives up the middle of the field. So right here, as soon as he's starting his dodge, we want Yavin to get upfield a little bit higher, and that'll give this midfielder his only option is to dodge down this alley. We know that's not always going to be the case, and breakdowns are going to happen. Which is why we prepare to come off of clear throughs or use this China call. So in this situation, he does get the middle of the field. What you'll see happen here is Keith Wilson, he stays the slide man. So right now he is the hot guy. He's the one on the crease, and he stays as this slide man, and he slides right across Kyle's body, right to where he was standing, which leaves this man on the crease open for a brief second, as we don't have any two helping in on the backside. So what we'll want to do is use that China call and come off the clear through, and Kyle Gonzoriak will become the slide man. We'd like him to position himself right around here on that clear through. So as his man clears through to the crease, he can set up right in that good sliding position. And if Yavin does need a slide, then he can effectively go. But in this situation, we don't do that, and we create a really long slide right past another one of our men. So it's just about being efficient, especially defensively. We want to always save our steps and slide as efficiently as possible. So you'll see that man is kind of open on the crease right there as well, and they get a decent shot off. So that's a situation where we didn't utilize the clear through slide, but and something we'll want to do. This next clip is something, it's a two-man game, and we call it taco. It's just a down pick from our midfielder down to the attack or midi who's down in this low position. So we're in our 13 set still, so we can still do this taco type pick. It's just a down pick from our midfielder who has a short stick to an attackman with a long stick. And it's where the game is trending right now. If you guys watch college lacrosse and the PLL, there's a lot of two-man game stuff that's going on. And a lot of it's coming from the box lacrosse world, but it puts a lot of strain on the defense, because in this situation, the short stick they don't often switch picks to a close defender, and that can put that close defender in a pretty difficult position to have to get through the pick and then still be in a good position to turn that midfielder back. So Nick Luis does a great job of it, and Brendan Powers from Skinny Atlas does a great job of turning the corner here, and we get a pretty effective two-man game here. A couple things to point out: Brendan's set up nice and wide right along the box line there. I love that position for this dodge. He can get a full head of steam out of his defender. He's not kind of dodging from his right at the feet, and he's able to generate a lot of speed because he's out nice and wide. Nick Luis does a great job of coming into the middle and then posting right in that spot and getting his feet set, which is what we need to do for these picks. We can't be moving our feet at all setting these picks. So watching now, comes into the middle, he comes, sets his feet, and Brendan does a great job of exploding off of that pick, almost brushing shoulders with them. And you'll see that defender gets picked off. It's a clean pick, and Brendan gets a really nice opportunity out of that. So that's a well-executed taco or two-man game. We'll just watch it again here. And it's something that we're going to implement a lot more throughout Sweetlax and Grizzly this upcoming summer. It's something that I think is very effective, and we will be implementing more and more. So it's important that we understand how that works. So this next clip is another offensive clip. We do a great job again of dodging, drawing a slide, and moving that ball right away. So Yavin Stefano from Irondequoit did an excellent job here. As soon as he draws that slide, that ball is moving right away. All right, and you'll see Parker, just like he did on that previous clip, he has his head up right when he catches that ball. A lot of you younger guys, I've seen a lot of attack, just they have their head down right when they catch that ball and kind of looking at your defender's feet. And that's something that we have to, a habit you have to break to be an effective attackman. We need to have our head up the whole time. So Yavin does a great job here. He draws a slide. As soon as that slide comes, he's bouncing out and moving that ball. You'll see Parker Winky Wade from Horseheads. He recently committed to the University of Albany. He had a really strong fall for us as well. He catches that ball, and right away his head's up. And because this defense is sliding in recovery, and they're kind of out of sorts, so this allows Cal Lambert from Victor to get open on the crease. Parker recognizes it right away and hits them, and we get a pretty easy goal. And all of that is because right away we just moved that ball. We didn't hesitate off of the slide. We moved that ball. We didn't try to re-dodge it. Our attackman caught the ball with his head up, and we had cutters going to both pipes there too. So it made for a pretty easy goal, and it wasn't a play or anything like that. It's just good fundamental lacrosse. So this next clip, this is another defensive philosophy type thing that, again, is just all about efficiency and being efficient on defense and saving our steps and a lot of communication that is just at the heart of all good defenses. You'll see Yavin does a great job of sending his man down the alley this time. He maybe could be a touch higher, but his man goes where we want him to go. We get a slide here, which is great. We needed that slide there. In this situation, Yavin did not recover, but because he rolled back, it wasn't necessarily needed. But the big thing that we're looking at here is our recovery that we do off of this slide. So Max Latour, he's forced to slide all the way across the field, which is an incredibly long slide. The ball moves a lot faster than Max can move his feet there, and it allows them to get a good shot off this. But so what we want to do, anytime that offense sends that ball high off of a dodge or spills it, as one terminology that we're using, we want to try to bump through this close D in the middle. So what we'd like Max to do is recover right to the crease. And Jack Wallace from Pittsford, he's going to then bump he'll become the recovery man that gets out to this play. And if we do that, then Jack will be able to effectively get a hand in this offensive player's stick, and he likely won't get this shot off. But what we don't do is we don't do this bump, and it allows that offensive guy to get a pretty good shot off. So you'll see that here. We slide all the way across, and they get that shot off. But what we'd like to do is recover right to the crease. Jack will communicate it, bump, 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 and it'll make that recovery a lot less steps. So he's got to recover right down to the crease to Jack's man. You can see Jack does a good job. He wants to have that bump, but we need Max to communicate it to him. And they both need to just have a conversation there, letting him know that he can bump over. He's got his man now, and we'll effectively slide and recover there. This last clip is it's kind of going back to a little bit of the two-man game stuff, but it's just another dodge that that you'll see a lot in the game that is being effectively used, and it's you can kind of see the game developing, which is cool to see that these kind of shots are being utilized where you used to only see shots down the alley running away. So you'll see Cal Lambert, who committed to Army this past fall. He does a really good job of ducking underneath his defender. His defender is taking a pretty high approach, and so sometimes you got to take what the defender gives you. He's a righty, so he's not really able to do that sweep here because the defender's playing so high. So he ducks underneath of that defender, kind of taking what the defender's giving him. And what I love what he does here is he gets his hands across his body, and he gets a pretty good shot off with pretty good velocity. And it's a pretty difficult shot to do. It's one that he makes look pretty easy, but it's something that it's a difficult shot, especially for you younger kids to generate power with your hands across your body like that. So you'll see a lot of kids want to get that stick in their left and fire that shot down the alley, but you'll never have the angle to get that ball on cage at this low of a spot. So what Cal does is he ducks underneath and he gets his hands away from his body, pulls him back, and generates a pretty good shot. So it's that's something I challenge you guys at home to work on. We know you guys got lots of spare time right now to work on some skills, and hopefully if you do have a net in your backyard, even just against a wall, just practice getting your hands away from your body and trying to get that shot off. It's an uncomfortable shot to be in, but if you can get some pretty good velocity behind it, it's going to be one that will add another tool to your game. So I really like that shot and finish there by Cal, and that's why I wanted to finish with that clip there. You'll see Mom gets excited there at the bottom too. It's she knows it's a pretty nice goal, and that's why she's fired up. So that's all the clips for today, guys. We wanted to try to keep it pretty short. We don't want to have it drag on too long. We want to make it something that you guys will keep coming back for, and we're going to keep rolling these out at least once, maybe twice a week, and try to get some different guests and different areas of the game, as well as some defense, some attack position stuff, and maybe specialize a little bit here and there. But I appreciate you guys taking the time out of the day. Continue to stay safe, and like I said, continue to work on our game the best we can and make the most out of these circumstances that we're in. Thanks, guys.